So some of you might think it's easy to grow wealth when you're already making plenty of money. And I'm often asked, what would I do to grow my wealth if I was making $50,000 a year? And I get asked this amongst all different salaries and all different income amounts. But the one thing I want you to do is I want you to understand it doesn't matter the amount of money you make. The solutions are very similar. So keep watching this video for my step-by-step strategy on how you can grow a small income like $50,000 a year into a lasting wealth, a wealth that will carry you for the duration of your life and then also allow you to leave a legacy. And I want you to know this. Anyone, I mean anyone, can do this if you put your mind to it. The first thing I would always suggest for any income amount, but let's just focus on $50,000, is you got to change where your money goes first. And you always got to start with the laws of wealth. They've been around since the beginning of time. You could read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. You could look at my 6 laws of wealth, but it always comes down to the first law, and that's paramount. Because if you don't follow the first law, nothing else matters. So if you're making $50,000 a year, the very first thing you must do is save 10%. It's the 10% rule. So I always say you must keep 10% of the money you make. So if you make $50,000, what's 10% of $50,000? It's $5,000 a year. If you're making 50 grand and you're not saving 5,000, that's where we start. Because until you get that down, until you find a way to keep some of the money you make, nothing, I mean nothing, is going to change in your life. You're going to continue, you're in financial slavery if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're buried in debts, all these things that we're going to talk about in a second. But the number one thing is you got to find a way to keep 10% of the money you make. And you know what? Here's the thing. For some of you at $50,000, you can't. You can't keep 10%. You can't follow this first 10% rule. So you just want to click stop on this video because you think you're going to, this video is not for me. I can't save $5,000. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Don't you understand? It's hard out there. Of course I understand. You know what? I got some hard truth for you right now because you know what? Sometimes the truth hurts. So here's the truth. If you are living paycheck to paycheck and you're making $50,000 a year, guess what? You need to get a second job. You need to get a side hustle. And that side hustle, make sure it makes you at least $5,000. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you go shovel driveways. I don't care if you go out there and mow lawns. I don't care if you go moonlighting at night. Figure out a way to make $5,000. I don't care how you find the $5,000, but you better find it because that's the amount you're going to keep and that's the amount you're going to save because without that, nothing else changes. So moving on to number 2, you got to start building wealth from your own debts and expenses. And I explain this all the time. And I explain this in a way that's very simple. Let's just assume that you've got some debts. Most people do. I don't care if they're credit cards, lines of credit, maybe you financed your cell phone, maybe you got a car loan, whatever those debts are. You're making money and the money you're making is going to somebody else every single month. So hear me out. We're going to take that first law, that first rule, 10%. We're going to take that $5,000 that you save. And I don't care how you got that $5,000. We're going to take that. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all your debts in an order. Now, hear me out. This is going to go against what you think, but your debts are going to be put in order from lowest balance to highest balance. I didn't say from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. I didn't say from highest payment to lowest payment. I said from lowest balance to the highest balance. You see, we got to get that dopamine hit every time. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that $5,000 you saved, $5,000 you kept, and we're going to take that every year and we're going to apply that to the debt. Now let's just say one of your credit cards is $5,000. We pay that credit card off. And that credit card that you owed $5,000 to every month, you were paying $200 a month to that credit card. Now that you've paid it off using the 10% rule and that money you saved, what we're going to do is we're going to take the $200 that you used to give to that credit card and we're going to take that money and we're going to put that money in its own bank account. That's right. We're going to go to your bank and we're going to open up a segregated bank account. It's just a different checking account. But what I don't want you to do is no debit cards, no checks for this account. I want this money to be sacred. I want it to be hard to get. So put it in that account. Now, every month you got $200 going and you're continuing to save the 10%. So every month you're saving a little bit more money. Okay, you following me? So every month you're maybe saving $400, $500 a month. Plus you're saving $200 here because you no longer owe it to the credit card. Now we go to the next debt. Let's say it's $6,000. So in a little less than a year, you've accumulated and saved $6,000 from the savings, the 10%, and some is this $200 that's been accumulating in that. I want you to combine it, and I want you to take the $6,000. I want you to pay off that next credit card. That next credit card you were paying $300 a month to. Now that credit card's paid off, you're going to take the $300 a month, you're going to put that in that, let's just call it a segregated account. So now, without working any harder, without getting a second job, without getting anything, we now are saving $500 extra a month because you recycled and recaptured money that you used to give away, and you recycled and recaptured the interest that you used to give away too. So now we got $500 a month plus the money that you're saving for the 10% rule. And we're going to continue to keep doing this. You see, this is how you start building wealth from your own debts and expenses. Pretty soon, after an amount of time, a year, 2 years, maybe it's 6 years, doesn't matter. All your debts are gone, and all the money that you used to give away to all those debts is now accumulating in that segregated bank account that you set up. You are on your way to beginning the process of building wealth. Now that money can then be invested, and that money can then, once all your debts are gone, be used to send and put to work for you yet again. Don't use that money to go blow it on another thing that you want to buy because it makes you feel good. Don't use that money to buy some new shoes or a new handbag. That money is used to go to work for you. Again, follow my 6 laws of wealth. I got a video on YouTube that's great. It teaches you all 6 of the laws of wealth. So right now, let's just pause for a second and let's click that little button at the bottom. See it? It says subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, and right above, left or right side, there's a little bell. Hit that bell so that you're notified every single time I put up a new video, because you're going to need more than what I'm going to be able to give you in this short little video teaching you what to do with $50,000. Let's go on to number 3. Now we're well on our way. I want you to create a budget. But I want you to stick to that budget. Take a piece of paper and fold it in half. Got a nice little crease. Then draw a line down the middle where that crease is. On the left side, I want you to write all the incomes. W-2 wages, side hustle money, which goes to the 10%. And then you've got a new business you just started. That's bringing in a little income. So you got 3 sources of income. Total it up every month. How much are you making? Then divide that out so you know the weekly amount that you're making. Great. So now we know weekly and monthly and annual amount that you're making. On the right side, I want you to put all your household expenses, your rent, your utilities, your diapers, your groceries, your going out, your entertainment, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is you do, I want them all right on the right side. Add them up, monthly and weekly. And then underneath that, hopefully by now you've gotten rid of all of your debts, but if maybe you're doing this budget before you're done, I want you to write all the debts, and I want you to put them in order from lowest to highest balance. Add those up, monthly, weekly. Now, subtract all the expenses in the debt payments from the amount of your income. What's the amount that you have left? Great. That's the amount that we're going to do something with. That's the amount that's going to go work for you every single month. So we're going to then set up a transfer out of your regular checking account, and we're going to have that money come over and join forces with this extra money that we just created by paying off debts and creating wealth there. So you had, $500 or $1,000 coming in there now. Whatever the amount is that you're keeping from your income, I want that to go into this segregated account as well. Now, the next thing we're going to focus on, because everybody needs one of these, is number 4. I want to change the way you buy cars. We got to get to the point where you start acting like the bank, when you become the bank, when you take back control of your money. And let's start with your cars. So instead of going out and financing cars from a bank or going out and leasing a car, which is the worst way, because there's 4 ways to buy a car. You can pay cash for a car, you can finance the car, you can lease the car, and you can steal the car. We're going to get rid of all of them except for paying cash. We're going to pay cash for cars from here on out. But we're not going to just take all the money that's accumulated in that segregated account and then just buy the car and be done with it. No. We've already learned. We want to be the bank, remember? When we paid off all those debts, we recycled and recaptured the money you were giving away. So let's think that. So when we take money from our segregated account, we pay cash for the car. And don't overbuy a car. Buy a car that you can afford with cash. So you pay cash for the car, but now you've depleted your wealth building account. Your segregated account's empty because you just paid cash for a car. So what I want you to do is add one additional step. I want you to figure out how much that car would have cost you monthly if you had financed it with a car finance company. You can do this by going to bankrate.com, or just go to Google and type in car loan calculator, and it'll pull it up and figure out, like that car that you just paid cash for, how much would that car have cost if you had to finance it for 5 years? And figure out what the interest rate would be based on the going rate. Let's say it's 6% right now. So once you figure that out, it says the payment would have been $250 a month. Great. What you're going to do is you're going to set up another transfer for $250 a month. So now, on top of recapturing all the money that you were giving away before, now you're recapturing another $250. If you change the way you buy cars and you add that one additional step, you pay cash for the car and you recapture the amount you would have given away if you financed it, you are acting like the bank. You are treating your money the same way you used to treat the bank's money, and you're paying yourself back principal and interest. And if you do this, you get all the money back for every car you've ever bought. Let me repeat that. If you do that one additional step, every car you buy, you will get all the money back for every car you buy, drive, and own. And number 5, this is the final one, and this is the hard one. You got to live below your means. There is no get rich quick solution. You see, wealth is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you got to understand this whole process is going to take time. Everything we just went over is going to take time because compound interest, one of the most powerful things in finance, says Albert Einstein. He called it the eighth wonder of the world. Those that understand it earn it, which I got you starting the process of learning it. Those that don't pay it. That's the old you. You used to just pay compound interest to everybody else. Now you're paying compound interest to yourself. Now you're earning compound interest. But this takes time. Let's do a quick recap of these 5 things. So number 1, what did we say? In order to change your financial situation, in order to take this small $50,000 in income and turn it into lasting wealth, the first thing we had to do is we had to change where your money goes first. We have to set up that segregated account, and we have to find a way to save 10%. So for 50 grand, that's 5 grand a year. Number 2, we got to start building wealth through our own debts and expenses. We got to look at our debts, put them in order from lowest to highest, start paying them off, but don't just pay them off. Pay them off and take the money that you used to give away to that debt and put it back in that segregated account, one after the other. Now you've got compounding working because you got the $5,000 you're saving plus the amount you recaptured. So now you got more horsepower to pay off more debt faster. Number 3, you're going to create a budget. Remember your income, your expenses, and your debt payments. And you're going to figure out how much you have left. And that amount you have left, you're going to have that go into the segregated account, which has no debit card and which has no checks. The 4th way, you're going to change the way you buy cars. You are going to become the bank, which means you're going to pay cash for cars. And then you're going to pay your segregated account back with interest. That's right. Every month you're going to make a car payment, but guess who gets the car payment? You do. You're used to paying somebody else a car payment. You don't even think twice about paying the bank or the finance company interest and principal. Now all you're doing is changing who's the bank. You are the bank. You're making a payment back to yourself, which means you now get to get all the money back for every car you buy, drive, and own by changing just that one thing. And number 5, I think is the hardest. You got to live below your means. Don't overspend. Don't try to act rich and make other people think you're rich when you're really not. You see, wealth is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Stop being in a rush to get rich. What you want is wealth. And wealth is created over time. And a big part of your wealth creation model is compound interest, and that takes time. So folks, I hope you enjoyed those 5 little lessons. Check out my other videos. How much money do I need to get started in the infinite banking concept? Because if you like what I just told you, let's say we change just where that money goes first and we put it into an account where it earns uninterrupted compound interest, a place where it earns tax-free returns. I just put a perpetual tailwind behind everything you just learned. So watch that video. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you on the next one.